Ireland, a country always linked with drinking, a place where it's not uncommon to be seen in the pub every night of the week. But what is the Irish government doing to crack down on the drinking policies so that a night of cheers doesn't end in tears?
Headlines inside of Irish newspapers frequently relate to drinking. Most common of those headlines are because of drunk driving, a drinking law that is being more enforced through time.
We've had laws in relation to drink driving limits for decades. For most of that time, they weren't rigidly imposed. You'd probably get away with it. You probably wouldn't meet police who were going to check whether you were over the limit unless you had an accident. If you were caught over the limit, you might get a warning and get left off if you were lucky. That has changed dramatically in the last 5 years, I would say, in particular in Ireland.
The Irish people were not the only ones who had to adapt to the tightening of the drinking law. Local pubs were feeling the heat of it when they were losing business due to people not coming in because they would be driving home drunk.
A few years ago, you could have a maximum of 2 pints or 2 glasses of wine, and then you'd be over the limit. But now it's actually changed, it's only 1 pint. If you drink more than 1 pint and you took a breathalyzer test, you would fail it. So in rural pubs, the car was the means of transport of getting to and from the pub. So that's why the rural pubs have closed. And that's why the drinking culture has changed, because there's a fear of getting caught.
With drunk driving being the most enforced drinking policy in Ireland, there are still major laws in effect. Public intoxication and disorder is a policy that is enforced in both the Republic and Northern Ireland, but whether it is as strongly watched as drunk driving is another issue.
But again, in Dublin City, in the Temple Bar area particularly, where the pubs get very, very crowded, and particularly if it's anyway warm, most of the young people will take their drink out onto the street and drink, and that's it's acceptable. The guards don't enforce that because, again, it's part of most of those people are actually tourists anyway, so it's part.
I think it could be a bit more strict because you also have residents in small towns who are living with this, and certainly residents, and they can be vocal about it, and they could be a lot more vocal about it. They're living with that. And I think the reason they don't make more of an issue out of it is because they would be speaking out against the pub owners who are their neighbours and their friends, and they're also the pubs that they go to.
Ireland has some of the major drinking policies and laws that we practice in America. The Irish government is working on enforcing and changing the drinking policies to help in making a safer and healthier country.